How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is M, and today we are going to be discussing some performance modifications for 5.7 liter HEMI powered vehicles. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, jumping right into the performance modifications, let's go ahead and discuss a limited slip differential. Improve handling, power delivery, ETs, durability, and consistency with a limited slip differential. You can convert your open differential utilizing something like a Traction Concepts LSD conversion kit, or you can swap a differential from other Gen 3 HEMI powered vehicles, or you can go aftermarket, but that is typically the most expensive route, running quite a few $1,000s. Make sure to do your research if you are swapping a differential, just due to the fact that the CV axles, the hubs, and the drive shaft all play a factor, and you may need to swap some of these components out and buy other components to make everything work. A higher numerical gear ratio will improve acceleration due to torque multiplication. Now, doing this can run you $400 to $4,000. If you're doing a limited slip differential conversion on your OEM open differential, it's going to be on the cheaper side. If you're grabbing a differential and you can just swap it in because you have the same spline axles and you're good to go, you're going to be on the cheaper side, but it's not going to be as cheap as converting your OEM differential. If you're going to grab secondhand components and you have to do a full swap with hubs, axles, and the actual differential itself, that's going to run you about $1,200 to maybe $2,000. Or if you want to purchase all brand new components from a place like Steve White Motors and swap in a 306 Git Rag or whatnot, that's going to run you about $4,000. All of this is going to depend on the year, make, and model of your vehicle and the differential that you are trying to run. Now, moving on, suspension modifications can greatly improve the 5.7 liter HEMI platform. Improve handling, stability, weight transfer, traction, and reduce body roll with suspension modifications. Launching and cornering can also be improved. Springs and shocks or coilovers, depending on the route you take, as well as anti-roll bars, definitely play a huge factor in the performance of the vehicle. No matter if you want to circuit race, drift, or drag race these vehicles, suspension modifications are key. And these suspension modifications can run you $300 to $3,000 or more. Of course, on the cheaper side of things, if you just want to lower the vehicle a little bit, get that center of gravity down, reduce body roll a little bit, and just get on a lowering spring, that'll run you about $300 to $400. If you want some Viking double adjustable coilovers, that's going to run you more so on the side of $3,000 or more. And then, of course, there's the middle ground where you can run something like a D2 racing coilover. Moving on to the next modification, a 180-degree thermostat is a great modification for a 5.7 liter HEMI. And I would like to note that the 180-degree thermostat is not the best option for everybody. We are talking about performance modifications. If you daily your 5.7 liter HEMI-powered vehicle in the cold months, it may not be the best modification for you, as you may not hit operating temperature, or if you do, it may take too long. You might get a code thrown. There may be issues. It might be more so problematic to run that 180-degree thermostat in colder weather. It has been problematic for some, and it has been fine for others. It may cause issues getting up to operating temp, maintaining operating temp. Codes may be thrown, so keep that in mind if you're in a colder state. By allowing coolant to circulate sooner, 180-degree thermostat combats and helps reduce heat soak. Cooler temps can help prevent detonation, and if you consistently run lower temperatures and you are not consistently heat soaked, you are going to have more stable power delivery. Temperatures between 184 degrees and 190 degrees are primed to make optimum power. Above that can start pulling timing. Now, these 180-degree thermostats cost about $30, maybe $35, depending on your location. But they are very simple to install, and all you need to do is adjust the fan settings within the tune, and you're golden. I run a 180-degree thermostat in my car, and I typically sit around 185 to 195 degrees. Even when beating on it, 195 to 200 degrees is typically all I see. So they definitely do make a difference, especially seeing that my vehicle used to run at 212 degrees or hotter in the same conditions. Moving forward, let's go ahead and talk about some headers. Overall, headers improve exhaust scavenging as well as engine efficiency and net you some power. You can see gains of 15 to 40 horsepower depending on what headers you run, if you are tuned or not, and what supporting modifications you have. Now, if you want to run some SRT shorty headers, you can grab those up for about $350 secondhand. But on the flip side, if you're looking for a quality pair of long tube headers, this can run you over $2,000, especially if you expect mid pipes to be included. I paid $1,900 for my American Racing headers, and that included the mid pipes and all. And of course, aside from netting power and improving efficiency, it just helps your HEMI sound absolutely phenomenal. So they're one of my favorite modifications. Now let's go ahead and discuss substantial power adders. Starting off with a camshaft and supporting modifications. On average, a camshaft swap will net 40 to 80 horsepower. However, more aggressive camshafts can net you 110 or more horsepower. On average, the components for a camshaft swap will cost you about $2,000 to $2,500, and labor is of course going to be a separate cost. With all that being said, a camshaft swap complements a 5.7 liter HEMI well, just due to the fact that they come with a mild cam from factory, so a camshaft wakes them up. Now moving on to the other substantial power adder, of course we are talking about forced induction. No matter if you go turbo or supercharger, you are going to pick up some nice power. 120 plus wheel horsepower and 120 plus foot-pounds of torque at 6 psi is to be expected, and that's about the bare minimum. Some of these bolt-on kits will net you 160 horsepower or more. Now, of course, that's typically with something like a Magnuson 2650 or a Whipple supercharger, one of those top-end blowers that cost more money, but it is most definitely possible. On average, you're going to be paying $6,000 to $8,000 or more to introduce forced induction to your 5.7 liter HEMI. And before I move on to the next modification, I do want to quickly mention that proper fueling modifications as well as tuning may or may not be included in the price of the kit, so be sure to be thorough in your research before making a purchase. Moving on to the next modification, this is more so for the pre-Eagle 5.7 liter HEMI. We're talking about head work or a head swap. The pre-Eagle 5.7 liter HEMI heads are known for their issues, and on top of that, it's the worst flowing Gen 3 HEMI cylinder head. You can swap to Eagle 6.1 liter or aftermarket cylinder heads, or you can rework your pre-Eagle heads. If you CNC port the heads, they will flow on par with 6.1 liter as well as Eagle cylinder heads. You can have the valve seats pinned, and then you can upgrade the springs and retainers, and those cylinder heads are solid. Or again, you can swap cylinder heads. Either way, you're going to net some power and increase efficiency. And while we're on the subject, we might as well discuss for the Eagle cylinder head guys or the head swapped pre-Eagle guys, 6.1 liter as well as Eagle cylinder heads flow on par with Apache cylinder heads when CNC ported. However, it costs about $2,000 to $2,500 to have it done. Now, the cylinder heads we just discussed was more so performance, but it did talk about functionality and preventative measures, which leads us into the next modification, a high volume oil pump. A high volume oil pump helps combat the lack of lubrication at idle and during low RPM operation. This lack of lubrication at idle and during low RPM operation is commonly thought to be one of the main contributing factors to the HEMI tick, so a high volume oil pump should at least be considered. And before we jump into the next modification, I would like to mention you cannot run a Hellcat oil pump on a pre-Eagle 5.7 liter HEMI. You can run it on an Eagle 5.7 liter HEMI, but if you have a 2003 to 2008 5.7 liter HEMI, a Hellcat oil pump will not bolt up. It will not work. You have to go with a Melling. But the Melling typically is cheaper and moves 15% more oil, so it is the better deal overall. Plus, it was designed for the 5.7 liter HEMI as it is. Another great addition to help improve performance would be the ZAutomotive Tranzformer. This device allows you to adjust shift firmness, includes launch control to help dial in reaction times and ETs, has a line lock feature so you don't have to push through those back brakes to burn out, and the device includes numerous other useful features such as a trans temp readout, and I personally feel we should have had one from factory. Stay tuned for the video I'm going to be doing on one in my 300C build, and if you're considering grabbing one, make sure to use my discount code below. Moving on to the last official performance mod, we have to talk about the bottom end. If you are considering running over 8 pounds of boost or boosting a cammed 5.7 liter, forging the bottom end or at the bare minimum increasing ring gap is recommended. Without forging the bottom end or at least increasing ring gap, you increase the chances of blowing that HEMI up. Ring gap in the stock rotating assembly is good for about 600 to 700 horsepower, which translates to roughly 550 to 600 wheel. And you can make that power pretty reliably for a decent amount of time. The stock rotating assembly with ring gap has been ran by numerous people, and Don or Modern Red HEMI took his into the 9s in the quarter mile, showing exactly what this setup can do. 550 to 600 rear wheel horsepower with some ring gap is pretty damn decent. As a side note, upgrading your rod bearings while you're in there is recommended to improve the setup. And to finish up talking about the bottom end, if you take a stock 5.7 liter HEMI block, a cast block, and you take a forged rotating assembly, install it with some studs and upgraded bearings, that engine will be capable of 1,000 wheel or over 1,100 to the crank. And just to discuss some pricing, if you do it yourself, gapping piston rings really isn't all that expensive. It's just more so time consuming, and then all the gaskets and everything that play into it. If you have a shop do it, it is going to be much more expensive, especially if they have to do the disassembly process themselves. For just gapping the piston rings, there's the piston ring filer. If you're doing it yourself, that's a couple $100s at most. And then if you're going to replace the piston rings, you know, some new piston rings are a couple $100 maximum. And then, you know, the gaskets and everything else, we'll call it $500-600 in total. But you should do it when you're doing a camshaft swap, cylinder head swap, or something else of that nature when you already have the engine open, such as what I'm doing. I'm doing a camshaft and cylinder head swap, putting together a 5.7 liter block with 6.1 liter heads, 11-to-1 compression. Instead of leaving it in the car and pulling the heads and getting things done that way, I plan on supercharging the car pretty damn soon. So I'm pulling the engine, fully disassembling, gapping piston rings, installing upgraded bearings, installing an ATI super damper, pinning the crank, doing all these things in preparation, and it's going to save me money and time since it's already apart. Fully forging and building the bottom end will most likely cost you around $4,000, $4,500. Between main studs, upgraded bearings, the crankshaft, connecting rods, and the pistons, you're most likely going to be spending right around $4,500 to forge that bottom end. And to end the video off and tie everything together, let's go ahead and discuss tuning. Now, for a camshaft swap, to introduce forced induction, to swap your limited slip differential with a different gear ratio, all of these different things, you need a tune. It is not up for debate. It's just necessary. And even for the components that don't necessarily require a tune, you will maximize efficiency and power gains from a tune. Now, the average cost of a tune is about $400 to $600, and this depends on your area as well as what is done to your vehicle. In order to get tuned and flash the tune to your vehicle, you will need a tuning interface. Whether you go with HP tuners or Diablo Sport is up to you. I would do thorough research and think about what you want to do in the future. I have a full YouTube video discussing tuning for Gen 3 HEMIs with Diablo Sport and HP Tuner, so go ahead and check that out if you need to. If you enjoyed the video, learned something, or you're rocking with the content in general, go ahead and hit that like button so YouTube knows to push it to more people. Comment your favorite performance modification for the 5.7 liter HEMI platform down below. And remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.